from the University of Laverne. This is Foothill Community News.
Hello, and welcome to the Foothill Community News. I'm Andrew Alonso.
And I'm JC Theory. With the rising cost of gas, many people are feeling the pinch at the pump. Foothill Community News' Andrew Alonso tells us how deep people are digging into their pockets.
A trip to the pump. It happens to everyone.
There's not much you can do about it. It kind of is what it is.
But lately,
It's putting a big toll on my wallet, of course.
It's high.
you guessed it, more and more green for your gasoline.
It's the highest I think if it's been in a while.
Pretty soon I think we're all gonna be in bikes.
Margaret Piedra is having to go deeper and deeper into her wallet.
On this truck, it used to take around $62 to $65. Now it's going up to $100.
As gas prices reach $4 a gallon, there's one thing for certain.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
Many folks are rethinking their daily commute and driving habits.
Trying not to leave the house very often. About a few months ago, it was maybe $35, but I'm probably putting it in as at least once, if not twice a week.
While some like Christina have to suffer the worst commutes.
My commute from San Dimas to Irvine, 4 days a week, it's about a 60 to 70 mile commute.
And while we can't all avoid the pump, AAA says that minimizing bad driving habits and carpooling are just some of the ways that you can save at the pump.
So a number of things people can do to reduce how much gasoline they use is to optimize your daily driving. There are other apps that you can use to find the lowest gas prices nearby. Carpool.
I try to just keep with the speeding laws because they say that's better on your gas mileage, so.
Andrew Alonso, Foothill Community News.
Thank you, Andrew. AAA says even though gas prices are high now, we should see a drop by the end of May just in time for summer travels.
Recently, 2 hikers went missing out on Mount Baldy. They were found 5 days later by search and rescue teams. According to the Angeles National Forest Public Information Office, there are several things you could do to prepare for a hike. They recommend filling out a search and rescue hiking plan. This can be done at any Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. The hiking plan gives officers a detailed outline of your trip. It can also help them locate you in case of any emergency.
We talk about know before you go, and that's knowing what to bring, knowing where you're going, knowing the weather conditions before you get out there.
They recommend when going on a hike to bring a flashlight, a map, and a first aid kit. They also suggest bringing extra clothes just in case the temperature changes, and extra food and water. They say that if you get lost, to stay in one location, so search and rescue teams have a better chance of finding you.
In the case of the hikers that went missing, staying put was the best thing for them. They are very lucky to have survived for 5 days in the forest. You know, there's not always that circumstances that we'll be able to find them.
The Public Information Office also recommends to stay on marked trails and never hike alone.
Recently, the Laverne Historical Society held an open house to raise funds for a historical home in Laverne. It's known as the Green Home with more than 100 years of history. Andrew Alonso has the story.
We call the best street in Laverne.
On the corner of 3rd and 1st Street,
So the age of the house makes it historically, it's over 100 years old.
sits a 1-story slice of Laverne history.
We are in the greenhouse.
While the house may look like an ordinary suburban home, take one step inside this historical house and you'll definitely be taken back in time.
So this house was built in 1917 based on tax records.
The house was nicknamed the Green Home in honor of 2 previous occupants, Ellsworth and Iona Green.
The Green family, who lived here the longest, almost 50 years, has deep roots here.
The couple were educators in the city. Iona taught local children at the home, and Ellsworth doubled as a coach and teacher at Bonita High School.
This is when Bonita High School was where Damien High is now.
The homeowners now are Ed and Susan Hume, who currently live at the home and are now in the process of restoring it.
This house being built in 1917 was built fairly quickly.
Ed and Susan knew their house was built with a strong foundation when they discovered a St. Joseph statue in the floor when they were trying to renovate their living room.
But we felt like we wanted to keep this old character.
We're really trying to, wherever we can, keep it as close to original as possible.
With over $50,000 invested in the home, Ed and Susan plan to make the Green Home their dream home.
It had always been our dream to have an older home, and we found this place.
Andrew Alonso, Foothill Community News.
Wow, what a great story. I guess my only question would be, the house is 100 years old. Is it haunted?
Well, I went during the day. I wouldn't go back there at night, but that's definitely a question for Susan and Ed to answer.
I guess we'll have to find out.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be right back.
Some say e-cigarettes aren't dangerous.
But science shows nicotine can harm teens' developing brains.
No matter how they're exposed.
Let's do an experiment to find out.
Here's a team who won't be using e-cigarettes.
Now we need one willing to risk their brain development.
Anyone care to volunteer your kid?
Anyone?
Your kids are not an experiment. Protect them from e-cigarettes.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Hello, and welcome back to the Foothill Community News. I'm Andrew Alonso.
And I'm Jessica Bai. The National College cheating scandal has many students questioning the college admissions process. Foothill Community News' Madison Rubino caught up with students at the University of La Verne to get their reactions.
Gatorades, and then more
offensive to all athletes because we've worked really hard to get recruited, and just to see that you could pay someone to not even be part of the team.
Rachel Ogata is a University of La Verne softball player. She says she's upset about the National College cheating scandal.
You're just basically there to get into the school. I think that just is offensive.
California universities, UC Berkeley, UCLA, USC, and USD are among 11 universities involved in the national admissions scandal.
It just kind of makes me think of how unfair the admissions process is.
Alina Coy, University of La Verne senior, says that she's now questioning the college admissions process.
Like, all of us work so hard to get all these extracurriculars, to get our GPAs done and all of this, and then now we find out that people can just pay their way in.
The recent scandal has left many ULV students worried about their future applications to the schools involved.
One of my dream schools I've always been wanting to apply to is UCLA, and so, I've gone through this process. I've been studying for at least a year. I took the test, the GMAT, and so I've just been waiting for that application to see what I got from UCLA.
Madison Rubino, Foothill Community News.
Hollywood actress Felicity Huffman is one of the 33 parents involved in the case. She pled guilty to charges of conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud.
Parking in La Verne is about to get a whole lot easier. Contractors have begun construction on a new parking lot at the University of La Verne. The new parking lot will be located at the corner of Bonita Avenue and C Street. The new lot will accommodate the university's new Ludwig Center. The parking lot will ease traffic at the university and downtown. Jasmine E. Castanon, a student at the university, says she can't wait till the lot opens.
I'm actually pretty excited to see it when it's done, because I think it'll alleviate traffic more, and it'll just be easier to get around school.
The new parking lot will hold 68 spaces, and the new lot is scheduled to open at the fall of 2019.
If you have been looking to add a new pet to your family, now is your chance. April 30th is National Pet Adoption Day. The Inland Valley Humane Society is hosting a Pet Adoption Day. They are located in Pomona. They plan to adopt out dogs, cats, rabbits, and even hamsters. The Humane Society says even though some animals appear skittish, their personalities come out more when they're out of the kennels.
Everyone needs to keep in mind that dogs in kennels are not themselves. So when you take a dog into the playroom, you bring out toys, you bring out treats, dogs just turn into who they actually are.
You can take a sneak peek up at the animals they plan to adopt out. Log on to their website, which is on the screen, or you can stop by in person.
A new food combination is taking the Inland Empire by storm. If you love wings and poke, this story is just for you. Reporter Nicolette Rojo has the dish on this new food combination.
Poke or wings? Or how about both?
I thought it was a really interesting combination.
Finally, a food combination as crazy as me.
Here at the Poke and Wings off Gladstone Avenue, customers have the option to either eat healthy, have a low cheat day, or a mixture of both. Now the question remains, why the mixture of Asian culture and good old classic American appetizers and entrees? And who is behind this interesting combination?
That's a tricky question.
Meet Anthony and Leanne Sue.
Leanne and I, we have this I wouldn't say God-given talents, but I say we have a pretty good knack at running the restaurant business.
They are not only married, but they're also business partners.
We've been in the restaurant business for about 20 years.
For Anthony, his passion for food dated back to college.
I worked in my parents' restaurant. I helped them manage it while I was in college.
But it didn't take long before he found his way back to the kitchen.
Food is actually what I love. I mean, not only to prepare it, but to be honest, to eat it. You know, I live to eat.
So why poke and wings? The Sioux say they wanted what they considered a healthy lifestyle restaurant.
With the trend of people trying to eat healthier, living a better lifestyle, I think that poke was a really good direction for us to head towards.
As for the wings, Sioux says it was the perfect guilty pleasure.
Since we started it, the implementation of adding wings into our concept, it has really generated a lot of positive response.
Sioux is excited about the start of his business and hopes to see happy customers.
I've always been told when I was, raised my parents growing up is you have to actually do what you like, but on top of doing what you like is doing what you're good at.
Nicolette Rojo, Foothill Community News.
Wow, that looks so good.
Definitely the best of both worlds. Are you a poke or wings person?
I can't pick either of them because both of them are really good.
But you can get two of. Chris and Madison with Sports Next on Foothill Community News.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Let's hit those pearly whites, man. Yeah! Good boys, check it, yeah. Ooh, cute.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up? How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Welcome to Foothill Community Sports. I'm Christopher Livingston.
And I'm Madison Rubino. We've got a lot of sports coming your way. The university recognized 8 athletes and 1 national championship team at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony earlier this month. The evening brought together former athletes, coaches, students, and influencers spanning over 60 years of Laverne athletic history.
No, it was a great night, and to be, like I said, in the company of all these tremendous athletes and people across decades, to really just be tied into the history of the University of Laverne and athletics. It's a really special moment and night, absolutely, and for all my family to be here, very special.
The ceremony inducted 8 former student athletes, including the 1981 Women's Volleyball National Championship team.
It's humbling, it's an honor, and I definitely look forward to being able to see other athletes join this honor and do what I can to assist and hopefully give back something to it as well, the way the university has done for me.
Many of the inductees left a positive and motivating message to current and former athletes on how they can one day achieve this honor.
Doing things for the name on your jersey, the front of your jersey, not the name on the back of your jersey, and do things that do whatever it takes to win, not for yourself to move forward personally, whether it be athletically or whatever it is. If you're all pulling on the same side of the rope and doing whatever it takes for the team to win, then you yourself will become successful.
With the now newly inducted, there are 111 total inductees in the university's Athletic Hall of Fame.
We have reached the final month for spring sports at the University of La Verne. Let's check out what the Leopards have done so far in their various sports. We first look at the La Verne women's water polo team. The Leopards have an 11-13 overall record. They sit in 4th place in SCIAC standings behind Whittier, Cal Lutheran, and Pomona Pitzer. Next, La Verne softball. The Leopards have hit a bit of a rough patch as of late, losing 4 in a row to conference opponents Claremont Mudscripts and Whittier. They hold a 15-21 overall record and currently sit in 5th place in SCIAC standings. Finally, we check out the La Verne baseball team. The baseball team has been on fire, winning 12 of their last 13 games, including back-to-back wins against Occidental. Let's take a look at how they won those games. As we see here, bottom of the 4th inning, Gus Patrick for Occidental, he smacks it. It's going to go up into center field. It will be fielded by Brandon Chiota. However, it's a sacrifice fly, so that will advance the runners for Occidental, and they will strike first. Top of the 7th inning, bases loaded, pitcher Ethan Fulsher is going to walk the batter, allowing the runner to reach home plate. Occidental is going to score one to make it a 2-0 game. How will La Verne catch up? Right here, Charlie Verone smacks it. Can it? Will it? I think it will. It's out of here over the left field fence. A 2-run home run for La Verne allows Brandon Chiota to score as well as Charlie Verone to tie the game at 2. Bottom of the 7th inning as well. Lucas Granado is going to smack it right into left center field in between the 2 outfielders, allowing the runner to advance. An RBI triple for La Verne. They scored 1 more at the bottom of the 8th to win this game 4-2. Moving on to game 2, La Verne already up 2 off of 2 unearned runs. Bottom of the 6th inning, Brandon Vogel hits it off to the right field line. Hard one for the outfield to grab. Another RBI triple for La Verne. That will score 1 run for La Verne. This turned out to be an entire slugfest for La Verne, as you will see at this next at-bat. John Bike, he's going to hit it up into right center field. Right there in the gap. Can the outfielder grab it? Oh no, what is he doing? Misses it completely, allowing La Verne to score 2 runs on this. La Verne would score 3 more runs before the end of the day to win game 2, 8-0. The Leopards hold a 25-9 overall record and sit in 2nd place in SCIAC behind only Chapman University.
The ULV baseball team's looking pretty good. I can't wait to see what they do in SCIAC.
They've been pretty dominant this year. Compared to last year losing in the semifinals, I'm excited to see what they can do in the postseason, especially against a team like Chapman.
We've reached the final stretch for spring sports. Let's see how our featured schools are holding up.
That's right. We will first look at San Dimas baseball. The Saints have continued their dominance throughout the season, winners of 5 straight, to include victories over Charter Oak and Wilson. San Dimas currently holds an impressive 21-4 overall record and stands as the 11th ranked squad in Southern California. The San Dimas softball team has been doing just as great so far, winning games over Wilson and Rowland. Their only recent loss was a tough matchup against Covina. They are sitting pretty with an 18-6 overall record.
Next, we move on to Bonita High School. The baseball team has been on a bright side of a 6-game winning streak, to include 3 wins in a row against Alta Loma. Bonita holds a 20-6 overall record and stands as the 8th-ranked squad in Southern California. The Bonita High School softball team overcome a tough stretch of games, winning against Ayala and Claremont. Their most recent loss was to Alta Loma on April 17th. They hold a 17-9 overall record.
And finally, we look at Damien High School baseball. The Spartans stand as the 14th-ranked squad in Southern California and hold a 16-9 overall record despite losing heartbreaking games to Etiwanda and Los Osos. With the regular season drawing to a close, the stakes become greater in the playoffs. Which one of these teams will stand as champions? Well, I don't know about you, but I know I'm pretty excited.
I love playoff season. Everything heats up and gets way more competitive. That's it for us at Foothill Community Sports. We'll be right back.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Hello and welcome to the Foothill Forum. I'm your host, Andrew Alonso. Joining me is pastry chef Christy Alonso. Welcome, Christy. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, Christy, you've been a pastry chef for over 5 years now. What led you into the baking world?
It was really a combination of things. When I was growing up, my parents actually were very adamant on having at least one of their 4 children go to either like medical school or at least something into science and biology. My oldest sister actually, she used to collect Breyer horses, and she still to this day works on a farm in Norco. My second to oldest, she was like playing with Cabbage Patch Kids and like Barbie dolls, and like all the dress up stuff was kind of her thing. And I knew I wanted to be in pastry. By the time I was in 5th grade, I was always making Betty Crocker mixes, and like I would never have as much fun doing those other things with my siblings versus like baking inside my kitchen.
So what made you want to turn that passion into a business?
It wasn't until Instagram became kind of like at the forefront of social media. Even to this day, it's like a huge like front runner in all things social media. I actually had like a sense of community posting all of my like works and stuff like that, even though they were kind of like bad back in the day. Like you get to see the progress come, and that was like really reassuring because like other people would notice it too. People who would follow me from such a long time, like since the starting point. They would see my progress too, and they would like comment on it and make sure like I would get like feedback, and it was just a great sense of community.
Awesome. So what are some of the challenges that you face as a business owner?
Sadly, I don't get a lot of specialty orders anymore because I do work a full-time job in the pastry world still. I'm in the pastry realm. I'm doing work for Disney. But sometimes I'm working like 8 to 10 hour days, and then I come home and I still need to complete a specialty order. So that's something that's super stressful. Like time management is also a huge thing for me. But I do try to make as much time as possible for these specialty orders because it's really my passion. Like I really, really enjoy making cakes and cupcakes and stuff like that.
Awesome. So what advice would you give to people who want to turn their passions into their own business?
I would mention social media again, just because it's such a great platform to like put your work on. And a lot of people, like I said, they comment on it, they give you critiques. Like you get to learn so many different like methods of like doing what you love already. And it makes you so much better for it in the long run. So like things like Instagram and Facebook, like they're really great like gateways or pathways to try and like better yourself as an artist. And also to just like really put your stuff out there and like get business inquiries and like other people to come and like try your product.
Awesome. So it wouldn't be a pastry segment without some pastries. I understand you brought us a little something. Do you mind showing us?
Yes.
Awesome. So what is it? What are we looking at right here?
I actually have for you guys some vanilla and chocolate cupcakes, all made from scratch. I actually, like you can't decorate any cakes without baking them first. So that's exactly what I did. I did the cupcakes first, and then I put like a simple American buttercream on top, and I decorated with your logo to make it more personalized for you guys.
Awesome. So before we go, I'm sure there's plenty of people that want to get into contact with you. How can everyone reach you?
You can reach me on my Instagram. I also have a business email for any like personal inquiries, but I really highly advertise my Instagram because you can see all of my work there.
Awesome. And what kind of things can people look for on Instagram?
Oh, I do a lot of specialty cupcakes just like these, a lot of personal cakes like wedding cakes, birthday cakes, anything that you need like pastry-wise. I definitely want to make it more personal. I want to like come like to your party and make it like elevated. I want to like meet your theme and make sure like, because the guest being happy is my favorite part of the job. That's why I love doing what I do.
Awesome. Well, you're definitely going to make a lot of people happy with these.
Great.
So that's all the time that we have for. My name is Andrew Alonso for the Foothill Forum, and joining me was Christy Alonso. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
What could you lose in a home fire? Your possessions? Your home? Your memories? Don't let your world go up in smoke. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones, because fire is everyone's fight.
Wow, we've got so many great stories this newscast.
That's right, with high school and college spring sports ending, we're jumped to the playoffs. Exciting time of year.
And guys, don't forget there are a lot of fun events going on around the area, such as pet adoption. So if you want to add a pet to your family, now is the time.
And if you haven't tried it yet, a new food combination is sweeping the Inland Empire known as poke and wings.
And of course, we have you covered on how to stay prepared for a hike.
That does it here for us at Foothill Community News. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.